Yes, I am Italian, and yes, I did talk about Italian food and Italy and a lot of things, but I was born and raised in Switzerland, remember that? And that's why today I will be sharing my personal opinion about Swiss food. Let's go! Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm so glad you found back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. Now, Switzerland is probably not mostly common for its food, but there are some dishes that are really worth a little bit of an exploration here in this case. So, I'll be sharing my opinion and rate it with stars from 0 to 5. First dish on the list, fondue. Fondue is very common because it's cheese, and of course Switzerland is known for its cheese. Fondue is basically a melted cheese in a big bowl, and everyone just takes it out of that big bowl with a big long fork and spoons it out with a piece of bread around it. So fondue will get my rating of 4.5 stars. Second dish, it's called rösti. You probably never heard of it, but it's really good. And it's basically nothing else than grated potatoes, pan fried, and it's super crisp on top. It's really nice. They do it a lot in Switzerland, very common. I like it a lot, like I said. My personal rating for rösti, probably 3.5 to 4, something like that. Next item on the list, I'm very proud of it. It's called Bündner Nusstorte, which is basically a nut tart. It's like a pie, but it's not really a pie. It's more, like I said, a tart. I personally don't like it very much, but a lot of people do, and it's very common in the region where I grew up. So if you ever get a chance, try the nut tart. My personal rating, it's probably a 2. The next item on the list is very funny to me, and it's called Älpler Macaroni. You know how in the US they have mac and cheese? That's basically our version, which is basically Alps mac. It's very similar. It is made of macaroni pasta, potatoes, cheese, and like I said, it's mostly known as the Swiss version of the American mac and cheese. They do serve it with a side of applesauce, which I don't like. So without applesauce, probably a 4. With applesauce, 0. Next item on the list, the Swiss Barley Soup, which is actually Bündner Gerstensuppe. Bündner, again, it's the region where I grew up. It's really a very simple dish. I don't like it a lot, so my personal rating there is probably 2. Yeah, a 2 is good. Next one, Zurich Schnetzels. Zürcher Geschnetzeltes, which is basically a ragu as a sauce. Zurich, because it comes from the biggest city, Zurich, it's basically sliced veal strips. And it's very good. A lot of people do it with mushrooms as well, cream, wine. It's really good. It's very simple again, but I think it's amazing. I love it a lot. My personal opinion, my personal rating would probably be a 4.5 for this. The next one, very similar to the nut tart, is the Pear Bread, Birnenbrot, Beerebrot. That's how we would say it in Switzerland. The funny thing is that it's not actually a bread, it's actually a pastry, but they call it Pear Bread. Who knows why? I'm not the biggest fan. I don't like dried fruits in general, so my personal rating on this is probably a 2.5. The next one is not really a dish, but we do have to talk about it, and it's cheese and chocolate. They are probably the most popular thing in Switzerland. Of course, you will find chocolate and cheese everywhere in Switzerland. Wherever you go, they do have the best cheese, they do have some of the best chocolate, and of course, it's very common. So I personally love Swiss cheese, I love chocolate from Switzerland. Now guys, if you're from the US, Swiss cheese is not Swiss cheese that you buy here, okay? There's a lot of different cheese versions in Switzerland, and you have to try all the variation because they're amazing. Personal opinion and rating on Swiss cheese and chocolate, 5 out of 5 for sure. The next item, again based on cheese, is raclette. Raclette is basically a Swiss melted cheese that you have with like pickled onions, the little ones, and some other little side dishes, and it's really good. You shouldn't eat too much because cheese will fill you like crazy, but I love raclette. I haven't had some in a very long time, And my personal rating on raclette is a 4.5. And the last dish on this list of Swiss food is called Capones. Capones is a very specific dish from the region I was born. There are some variation, but you won't find capones everywhere in Switzerland, okay? You have to travel to the certain regions where they have it. It's again a very simple dish, but it's phenomenal. It's just so good. No matter in what variation you have it, it's unbelievable. And it's very simple. It's like a spätzle dough with pieces of dry meat or some other meats inside, mostly Landjäger in Switzerland. And it's rolled in charred leaf. It's very simple, like I said, but unbelievable. Personal rating for capones, 7 out of 5 for sure. And that was it, guys. With capones, I'm gonna end my list of Swiss food and my personal opinion and ratings on this food. Thank you so much for watching. What I'm curious to know, and please let me know in the comments, if you ever tried some of these Swiss dishes, please let me know what you think. And if you have certain dishes that I haven't mentioned, please let me know as well. I'm really excited to read about it. As always, guys, thank you very much for being with me. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you click that little button as well as like my video if you actually did. I would love to hear from you, like I said. Until then, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and stay safe out there, okay? Bye-bye.